Greetings, lads and ladettes, fellow racketeers. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is going to be me talking about the WWE NXT top 4 transitioning into the main roster and why I think it's wrong. Okay, so first of all is title prestige. This accounts for both brands, by the way, in that I think in order to sell these guys the best is to actually directly compare them to the top brand on the opposing end. So what do I mean by that? So I understand that Ciampa and Gargano are now becoming sort of like a tag team, or maybe that's what is happening, I'm not too sure. And they've just beat the Revival, which I think is wrong. But I think the best thing to do is compare them to the rivaling top brand championships. And that maybe I want to see Ciampa versus Daniel Bryan. Maybe I want to see Gargano versus Finn Balor. I want to see these matches because they're direct comparisons, right? It's something that I can refer to. And I think if we see the NXT superstar lose, that's fine. If they have a good showing, then that's at least something that we can refer to, and that default WWE fans can look and be like, oh, okay, so these guys are like the main roster, but they're just not there yet. They're just like coming up. And I think that's a better way to build it because then you see natural progression. I don't think it's fair to push these guys instantly. I feel like if you're having situations where they're beating the tag team champions instantly like the Revival, you're making the Revival look like shit. I don't think that's necessary. I think you can easily have them go up against some other mid-tier card tag team and you can sell them that way, or like instead of going straight to the championship like I did previously, get them on the pathway to getting to that stage in the first place. You don't necessarily have to do it straight away, because even if the immediate impact is there, maybe not everyone knows who they are from NXT, so you're not building that gradual storyline, so the prestige is gone. It doesn't feel natural. So apparently there was a bit of miscommunication between Vince and Triple H in this regard. Apparently, I'm not too sure, and that Triple H thought that this was only going to be a 1 week thing, but Vince said no, these guys are just coming to the main roster, and yeah, that's why sort of things are in shambles at the moment with the pushes and the matches that seem very random. It just feels so incredibly unnecessary because all 4 of these guys are amazing. Black's amazing, Gargano's amazing, Ciampa's amazing, Ricochet's amazing, but they just feel like they're getting plugged in randomly. They're not being built up with a great storyline. They just, WWE, they just show the video package and like, okay, this is who this guy is, now you're going to have to deal with him. That's why we didn't get the biggest pop at the very first venue. I mean, admittedly, I don't know why they did that when the NXT Superstars debuted. They chose to have the most barren wasteland type of a crowd to be there, and as a result their impact was nullified, which is very disappointing. My point is, if you want these NXT superstars to succeed, you need to have them on a gradual, increasingly great push. You can't just have them immediately there, put them in random matches. It just doesn't work like that. That's what Vince wants to do. The WWE main roster is already huge. You're adding 4 guys, 4 very, very talented guys that each individually could have their own vouch for being the next WWE champion. But the problem is you're having them all there at the same time in an already huge roster. Maybe they could have done this at the brand switch where we're having people go from different rosters. Maybe that could have happened. Maybe you should have done this after WrestleMania. I don't think it's necessary. It's just, Vince has gone into this last resort mode where he's like, okay, people are really liking NXT. I'm going to get the 4 biggest people from NXT, put them into the main roster, and people will love it. People will love it. Even if I don't push them, even if they're just there, the presence will make people happy. Sure, I think that's somewhat accurate. But the problem is, where is their future from this? Where is their future? They're just sort of going to be held there stagnant for a while. I don't imagine all 4 of these NXT superstars getting the push that they deserve. Maybe we're going to have a couple succeed. But having them all there at the same time, it's a huge, huge gap. And I'm not sure if the main roster is ready for it. It just seems very random for it to happen. And the fact that all of these guys held titles except for Aleister Black, and they just transition onto the main roster, what does that mean for the titles as well? I mean, Gargano just lost his, so that makes it a little bit easier. But the NXT Championship is in Ciampa's hands. And he doesn't feel that big champion in WWE. He just feels like another guy because of this tag team shit that they're putting him in through. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right whatsoever. I hope WWE sort this out. The solution for me is you just make sure you get these guys one at a time rather than having all of them appear all at once for no apparent reason. You're not pushing a storyline. You're not. You're just putting them in for fan service. But fan service does not work long term. And fan service from the NXT roster, from WWE, a lot of the mainstream people who just watch the main roster won't understand the NXT guys. They do get big pops because they're absolutely phenomenal performers. And that WWE has been showing them promo packages along the way, so that's good. But the problem is they have nowhere to go after this. And I fear they're just going to be put into jobbers. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but either way, welcome to my YouTube channel if you're new, but yeah, that's about it for me. Sorry, I'm a little bit passionate on this subject, sorry, but the NXT superstars deserve the best. They're absolutely amazing performers. I just don't want to see them buried. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.